Today's that video, guys. It's the Signet ring video, and I know you guys been waiting for the Signet rings tier list. It's gonna be on its way. I know I've got to try and obviously pace things out and keep you guys hungry, I know, but we're gonna be spinning our rings today. That's the best way. We're gonna slam those hammers in. We're gonna get our Signet rings kind of unlocked and see what we're gonna go for. And the thing is, I obviously want to give you guys as much tips and tricks when it comes to obviously Age of Empires Mobile. So with that, smash like, comment, and subscribe. My name is MrSneakyy, and let's dive into today's video. So the first thing we need to discuss is obviously Minecraft. And if you didn't know, you are going to get craft rewards when you are going down the line. Obviously, if you're a super spender, you're going to hit these down ones. But for majority of players, it sounds crazy, but just hitting the 30 bomb every time, if you're going to do this, is the most consistent way. And no, it sounds silly, but it is, because you're doing here, look, craft 100 to claim 200, right? That is 3 times the amount needed, right? If I craft 30 spins, I'm gonna get 100. If I do 3 times the work, I'm only getting 200, which is kind of crazy. The thing is, if you save those 30 and wait until next week when it refreshes, you're going to do 30 again and get 100. And you're actually going to get more coins over a longer period of time, right? And it's obviously a lot more cheaper to do, and a lot of people can access it. So honestly, I would always go for the 30 bomb. And what I'm going to do in today's video, just to make it a little bit spicier, is go for the 100 bomb, right? So we're going to spin for 100 crafts, and then afterwards, we're going to save the 50 left over, and I'm going to start doing more of the 30 spins in the future, right? Probably in live streams and that. And obviously, when you're doing this event, you are going to be gaining the currency to do, the purchasing for even the upgraded material, but it's mainly for the rings. And a lot of people ask me, Sneakyy, what rings do I buy? And I get it, and it's a hard decision because they are so costly. What I'm going to personally do with my ring decision is see obviously how many coins I have, but I am going to target probably one of these 1600 rings and actually get a couple, if not maybe 3 or 4 of the purple ones. Because the thing is, the purple rings are really good, and it's better to have a good ring on than no ring. And that's the way I think about this game. So I'm going to be using basically 3 or 4 rings from the epic category on my main march. Once I've got those on, I'm going to work towards the harder to obtain rings, put the harder obtain rings on them, and then with those epics that I've first bought, I will just shift them to my second march and then work on those ones and then shift them to my third march. So I'm trying to always go for a ring that obviously makes sense to me, right? And obviously has a little bit of flexibility. So now with that, let's get onto it. We're going to start spinning these. We've got 10 crafts, and hopefully we can get some goodies, right? And we're on 1.35k already, and this is from just passively doing it, guys. If you're wondering how I've got so many coins already, that's just through 3 spins. And you can see I'm getting some decent 50 ones. I'm happy to see those 50s. We want to see way more of those. But here we go. We're going to start doing the crutch. And every time I'm getting these dusts too, guys, you're going to be happy to see them. You're going to need it for all of your upgrading anyway. So everything in here technically is good for you. Maybe you might not like the blue ones, because obviously the blue ones ain't as needed as some of the actual purples or legendaries, right? Well, we're getting some 50s. Nice to see some nice 50s. We're at 1.8k. We've got basically 5 more spins to go, and we're going for it. So we've got 30, 30, 20, 20. Got a couple of 30s there. Nothing too crazy at the moment. So let's do our last 2. Let's not even sugarcoat it. It's been kind of savagery. There we go. Boom. And actually not too bad on an average, right? So if you come out on now 2.8k, and if I go to my craft rewards, we can claim, like I said, the 100 and now the 200. So we've got now 300 worth, basically, right? And when we go for the rings now, we can go to, obviously, the Jewelers Collection. We've got 3.1k. Obviously, I don't have enough to get the 4k rings, but we do have enough to get these ones, right? So the one ring I am very looking at is honestly stuff like the Lofty Mountain and Tranquil Water. Them 2 are just so good because they're super defensive, and you can just kind of put them on anyone and you know what it's going to do, right? Here, Scorching Flame is an interesting one because it increases your might by 4.18% when using a commander skill, right? So this is obviously when you're triggering your main skill. Not too bad. This increases your commander's damage, rage recovery speed, and troop attack. Not too bad. You can use this on a variety of different marches that are using might and not strategy, right? So that's kind of the go-to. If I was going for more of a, you know, a strategy-based march, you are looking at these other two rings, if I remember correctly. So the Azure Moon here is after the charging state, you deal massive strategy damage to the opponent, which is really, really cool. And then Effulgent Sun after charging state, deal massive might damage. This is kind of the opposite one, so that's the one I remember, right? So what am I going to grab? I'm actually going to probably grab Tranquil Water, right? This is reducing the amount of damage I take for the first 18 seconds in combat. Really, really powerful. Comparing it to Lofty Mountain, this is for the first 18 seconds in battle. It reduces my might damage taken, which is good, right? And after 18 seconds, it increases your troops' damage dealt, which is again good, but this is a strategy bonus amplification, which is kind of is what it is, you know what I mean? It is a defensive-based Lofty Mountain, you know, Signet Ring, but I'm personally prefer the straight up Tranquil Water, and that's what I'm going to unlock. So, boom. We're not looking back. We've unlocked Tranquil Water. That's my first purchase here. And now we've got the purple rings. And there is some good rings in here. And I am going to be getting Ring of the Night Wolf as one of them. This is after every 9 normal attacks, my troops increase all damage of my heroes. All heroes' normal attacks and secondary skills by 5.2%. And it reduces their armor, so it's a really good skill ring, and it's basically kind of like Bellevue's skill almost. So this is why I'm buying the ring here. Boom. Now we've got only one technically options left, right? We only can buy one more ring, and everyone's gonna be like, what the hell? So we've got Ring of Boar, which increases the damage of your troops' passive skills when below 60%. Pretty good if you're more of, you know, the good old as you name it, pikeman. There we go. Grants one of the following effects: recover troops or reduce your troops damage taken. Not a bad one either. The Ring of Falcon, this is allowing you just to have flexible, you know, left or right, basically damage mitigation. I really like the Ring of Deer because this is reducing a random enemy's hero's damage by 22%, and it increases one of your hero's damage even further. And the thing is, if you've got that Ring of the Deer and you've got, obviously, as you can see now, the Ring of the Night Wolf, you're actually boosting quite a lot of damage between your march, and you're adding a little bit of survivability too with it with the Tranquil Water. So I'm more leaning into this ring, guys, if I'm going to be honest with you. Ring of the Serpent's not too bad. It's just strategy stuff. Lion, again, increase the might, strategy, and armor. This is a really good, and if you want to go for a flexible ring, guys, if you're asking me right now, Sneaky, I've got 600, like, and I only can buy one ring, and it needs to be the ring that I can use on anyone. This is it. This is literally designed to do that. It is increasing your base stats, which is your might, strategy, and armor, which is always good for any match you're putting it on, because obviously every match prefers might and armor or strategy and armor, right? So that's why it's such a good ring that you could choose for. I personally don't like this elephant one. It's siege stuff. It is what it is. Personally don't like it. The badger one isn't too bad. For the first 18 seconds after entering battle, reduce your troops' normal attack and secondary strike skill damage taken. Basically, it's really good for tanks. So if you want to be a pikeman and you really want to try and encounter, as you can imagine, the Mulans and the secondary strike heroes that's always there, this is really good for that, right? If we come up, we've got the shark. Shark's not too bad. Every time you launch a normal attack, reduce a target's recovery effect. It is actually pretty powerful. It sounds silly on paper, but there is a ton of healing in the game. And imagine this just being there. I wouldn't put it on my top priority, but it is a good ring. I'm going to put that out there. Some people might disagree. It is what it is. Seahorse, whenever your troops take strategy damage more than 1% and max unit in a single hit, reduce their strategy damage taken by 4.2%. Again, it's a situational ring, guys, for tanks. If you are getting destroyed by YSSs and, you know, Suleimans and stuff, this is designed to stop that. So this is for tanks, right? Now we've got the Ring of the Crow. And this one is kind of cracked, I'm going to be honest. And this is another one which is almost so hard to decide between. Because this is stealing enemies' might, strategy, armor from the enemy commander, which is the main commander in that lineup. That's like the primary hero. That's normally the damage dealer in the match. And this is for 3 seconds, meaning for 3 turns of combat, they are hitting worse than you, right? And if you've got the Ring of the Crow and they don't, I will tell you, you feel the effect. And it's so hard to honestly decide between this Ring of the Crow and, for me, the Ring of the Deer. It sounds weird, but I really do like both of these rings. And this probably is going to be where whichever ring I don't buy, guys, I'm probably going to save the next 300 just to get the next one. So I both have the Ring of the Crow and the Ring of the Deer. And once I've got those 2 rings, I'm probably going to start working on Lofty Mountain and then hopefully my Radiant Guardian for my Mulan March. That's probably my go-to one. So I'm going to ask you guys in the comment section right now, what ring in this situation would you buy? I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you would have bought rings, because to be honest, I could have even bought more epic rings and ignored one of the 1.6, but I feel like you just have to bite the bullet and get that 1.6, at least get one of them, and then get a couple of these, you know, 600s. So with that, we're going for the Ring of the Crow. I have bought the Ring of the Crow. That's the one I've settled on. Yes, I honestly do really think stealing stats is super powerful. And I didn't really mention this on my original Signet Rings video. And the reason I didn't do that was on purpose. I really didn't want to put that on people's radars. And I know a few of you in the comment section gave me a bunch of shit for it. 100% deserved, and you are in the right, but that is why I didn't have it in the video. But we do have it, the Ring of the Crow. One of the best rings, honestly, you can have in the game for epic tier, in my opinion, right? And that is going to be the Signet Ring, basically, unlock. We do have 50 more tokens. I'm saving them, as you guys know, for next week. This is going to allow me to get that nice 100 reward, so it's going to be easy, right, to get it. And then we can get some more, potentially, hopefully, we might hit 600 in that 30 bomb. Who knows? And I can get the Ring of the Deer there and then and move on. But for that part, let's just jump now into our actual heroes section, because we do have all the heroes here now, and I can start actually putting on these rings where I'm going to put them. So for me, I am putting my Ring of the Night Wolf onto my Mulan. It's just going to be her ring. It's going to be a really good substitute until I get that Radiant Guardian, in my humble opinion. Then we've got our good old Attila here. And Attila, I'm actually going to put on the whole Tranquil Water. This is going to allow this actual triggering effect on nice as days. We could move this technically onto the Rani, but I'm going to use the Rani slot more of the utility side of things, right? Because she's already doing Warriors, him, and my Kingsblade at the moment. And the fact that I'm putting the Ring of the Crow on her, yes, she's now stealing might and strategy and armor from the enemy commander on her turn, and hopefully brings it across onto, obviously, the Mulan's turn, so she does even better, right? So that is going to be my ring setup so far, guys, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I know you guys have been waiting for Signet Ring videos and the Signet Ring tier list. I promise you guys, they're on their way, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed the last tier list. If you've not checked it out, we'll put a little comment up there for you guys to click right now. And with that said, smash a like, comment, and subscribe, guys. It's been a pleasure. It's been me, MrSneakyy, on Age of Empires Mobile. Until the next video, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.